Hi, I'm Bilal from GameRant. I miss local co-op. You guys definitely also miss local co-op, hence why we asked you on the GameRant website what game springs to mind when you think of local co-op. You guys gave quite a lot of answers. I haven't seen any of them yet, so I'm excited to get started. The very first answer I see from Eric, first thing that comes to mind is Battletoads on the old NES. Used to play with my dad when I was young, and he'd get so aggravated because I'd be too busy beating him up and not focusing on playing the game right. I feel like if there's a parent and a son, or an older brother and a younger brother, one of them is always gonna be messing with each other. In my case, growing up, it was always my brother or my older cousins messing with me, so it's really nice to see it the other way around. Now, I haven't played Battletoads, but I know Battletoads on its own is already a massive pain in the butt, so making it even harder by constantly beating your dad up in the game when you're already trying to navigate through that damn water ski level and there's the barriers that come up and you have no time to react. When you got stuff like that and you're beating the heck out of your dad up in game, yeah, that's gonna piss people off. But it sounds like in hindsight, that was a great bonding experience with your dad, so I'm genuinely really happy for you, Eric. That sounds like a lovely memory and a great thing to think of when you think of local co-op. Okay, let's skip down a bit. Oh, here's a good one. Daniel. Playing the old school Modern Warfare games with my buddy Andy. I had always liked COD, but I actually came to look forward to those rounds after school. This one's a lot more personal for me too. Old school COD, I'm talking like COD 4, OG Modern Warfare 2, World at War, Black Ops 1, locally was both the most toxic and fun bonding experience you could have with your friends and family. In particular, Modern Warfare 2. And Daniel, I know I'm far from the only one. You obviously had this experience. A lot of other gamers had this experience. The old school COD games just hit different. I'm not trying to sound like a gatekeeping boomer with this. If you enjoy the newer COD games, by all means, that's great. Play them as much as you want. During my time growing up, and it sounds like during Daniel's time too, the old school Modern Warfare games, oh my god. I put in like, I don't know how many months worth of playtime in that game. MW2, love you. Oh, okay, this is an interesting one. Guitar Hero 7222 posted, Mario Bros, Mario Kart, or Super Smash Bros. Now, two of these, maybe even all three of these, are rare examples of local co-op still being relevant. Nintendo gets a lot of flack for having horrible online services, and it's understandable, but if there's one thing I can really give Nintendo credit for when it comes to multiplayer, is still encouraging local co-op with friends and family. The older we get, the harder it is to meet up with people, but these games will never die, whether it's in a casual setting or a competitive setting where you have unbelievably competitive friends. I am the competitive friend in Mario Kart, okay? I'll admit it's me. It's always gonna be a fun time. It's such an easy thing to have in a bigger setting. And this isn't just for the sake of killing the time. Like, these are genuinely really fun games to still play today, even in your adult years. Oh, here's a good one by Lucian, or Luscian. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Crash Team Racing. I wish 3 rockets to everyone. Yeah, Crash Team Racing was its own spin on, well, Mario Kart, I guess, and what other game could you compare it to at the time? But it's its own thing. It holds up really well. I'm really happy to know that it even got its own remake with Nitro Fueled back in, I believe it was 2019, developed by Beanox. For a long time, I thought this game was just going to be a cult classic, but I'm really glad to see that others like Luscian still had a great time with it, and it wasn't just me that played it with friends and family growing up on the PS1. And I also hope that more gamers now are playing Nitro Fueled on the PlayStation, because trust me, it's a really fun game. Okay, so I know there's a lot of these, but I'm looking at the one right under because it caught my eye. Why Does Life Slumber posted, never had a big thing for local co-op, but Overcooked and It Takes Two are pretty nice. The game with the Garn figurines is also pretty solid. Forgot the name. I can't speak for It Takes Two, but if we're talking about games that get people heated, that's where Overcooked comes in. Everyone talks about how Mario Kart and Mario Party destroy friendships, Monopoly destroys friendships, Overcooked burns friendships, pun intended. Depending on who you're playing this game with, it can either get too overwhelming and you guys just drop it, or it gets so heated and people are arguing about their stations in the game, where you're supposed to be running around, who's cutting the fish, who's making the sushi, all this. It's pure chaos, but it's so much fun. This game can be played online, but it's so much more fun when you play it locally, and I'm really glad that Why Does Life Slumber value that time playing locally. Oh, okay. This is one I don't think a lot of people know about. This is so special to me too. Matt posted, I always loved the co-op campaigns on Splinter Cell. The Splinter Cell co-op campaigns, severely underrated, but incredible additions to the games. I believe they take place maybe even before, during, and after the events of the respective Splinter Cell games they take place in regards to the single player story. And they're fantastic additions. Matt, I'm assuming you played with a brother, a friend every now and then. I'm curious to know which one is your favorite. If on the chance you're watching this video, let me know, Matt, because I'm really happy to hear that others loved these campaigns. Oh, I just remember too, Conviction also had a surprisingly really fun co-op campaign. The Russian embassy mission, maybe my all-time favorite co-op campaign mission in the Splinter Cell series. Definitely my favorite co-op mission in Conviction. Okay, so I'm scrolling down. Quick thing too, MJK also said, for me the best Tom Clancy Splinter Cell was Double Agent. My cousin and I used to play the co-op mode, and I loved it because you had to do all these special maneuvers in sync to progress in the level, which required teamwork and good timing and communication. Though the story wasn't the best, I feel that it made up in gameplay. We played on PS2 and Wii, by the way. Yeah, okay. Someone else just went into specifics of what made these games so fun. The level of communication you needed with whoever you were playing with made you such a strong team, and it felt so rewarding when you could finally infiltrate through a difficult level or past a guard that was giving you a difficult time. Something about giving your co-op buddy recon in the game was so rewarding, like having to tell someone there's a guard around the corner, you can't see him but I can see him from my end, and saving you guys from detection. Such a unique, chilling, immersive, and rewarding feeling you could only get in co-op games. And yeah, I almost forgot about the boosting mechanic, like giving people a foot up like you do in Uncharted with Drake and Elena. The Splinter Cell co-ops went seriously under the radar. These are phenomenal. Oh, okay, here's one from Chris. Battlefront 2 and Time Splitters 2. Oh man, did I sink a ton of time into those with my younger brother back in the day. Local co-op for a Star Wars game back in 2005 where you're on this power fantasy of mowing down an entire army of droids as clones or Jedi, or stormtroopers as the Rebellion, and on all the iconic locations from the prequels and the OG trilogy. Yeah, that's a blast for local co-op. Now, Time Splitters 2, I'll admit, that one is escaping me. Which game is this again? Oh, the spiritual successors of GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark. Okay, well, if it's anything like GoldenEye 007 multiplayer, that's also a fantastic game to have memories over. I'm really happy for you, Chris. Two very amazing games you picked. Okay, this is the last one I'll go over, and this one is a very personal one to me, and I saw it a few times through multiple answers. Lucas posted, I think of Halo 3, because when I was younger, my dad would play it with his friends, which for me was some of the best times of my life. Lucas, me too, man. Halo 3 was such a special game for so many of us. That is peak co-op FPS gameplay right there. Halo 2 did wonders for Halo co-op, of course. Halo 3 pushed it even further with new additions like Forge and custom games. Like, oh my god, playing Death Run in Halo 3 was something so special. Or even just messing around in the maps. Like, if you guys remember Sandtrap from Halo 3, there were the elephants, the giant vehicles, where if you flipped it, you got a bit of a cheeky message in the game. Normally when you flip a vehicle in Halo, it just says like, press whatever to flip the vehicle. If you flip the elephant, it's like press to flip the... Wait, how did you do that? Bungie was really smart about this. But that's a lot about one specific thing. There's so much more about Halo 3 that I'm so glad you had these memories, Lucas. Even if it wasn't you playing it all the time, still seeing your dad play it with his friends and seeing that joy they had and being a part of that joy is such an integral part of what made the Bungie Halo games so special. Heck, even the Chief is right behind me for a reason. These games will never, ever, ever leave my memory. And clearly for you as well, Lucas. I know for so many, thousands of people, and it makes me so happy. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up here. There are over 100 more answers I could go over, and I love all the answers you put, and it's nice to hear from you all. If you wanna talk more about games you think of when you think of local co-op, please feel free to comment in the comments below. Or if you wanna see even more answers for local co-op, please feel free to let me know. I'd love to talk about this more. This was a lot of fun. We post threads regularly on our GameRant website, so make sure to check us out at GameRant.com, and you'll definitely see more threads. You'll have plenty of opportunities to add your opinion to. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Bilal with GameRant, and we'll see you next time.